This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining me on Stockbox today is John Teeling, the chairman of Arkle Resources. Hi, John. How are you?
Good morning, Mark. I'm good.
Good. It's good to be talking to you again, John. It's been a little while since we last spoke, but of course there has been some news. Let's start with the Mine River project. And the previous news from that project was that there was visible gold from the trenching that you did, and you've now planned, and I believe you've actually started, or at least from the 26th of April, a diamond drilling program. Is that right?
That's correct. We actually started the equipment arrived over the weekend, and we started to drill late on Monday evening, and it's been drilling now yesterday and today. The weather has been very good, which helps.
Good. Yeah. It's nice to have good weather. So,
yes.
So what's the plan with this diamond drilling program then, John?
Well, maybe I'll give you a little bit of background.
Yeah.
I mean, gold in Wicklow, Wexford has been known for a very long time. There was actually a gold rush in 1796. Now, I won't go back that far. We in Arkle have had licenses in that area for a number of years. And there's one very particular license, which is the one we're drilling now, which has been known to contain good gold by ourselves and by previous companies. And we focused on that and got mixed results. Now, the type of gold we have in Ireland is vein gold, which can be very hard for gold investors to understand. It means it can be as small as 25 centimeters width. That's all you're looking for. And it can be hard to find that when you're drilling. It can be extremely hard to find that when you're drilling, because you can be 2 centimeters out and you don't find anything. And what it explains is that in upheavals, geological upheavals many years ago, there were cracks in the granites, and the gold-bearing fluids seeped in, and that's what you're following these veins. Now, we've known they're there. We've explored them a lot of holes, and about 18 months ago, we used a new form of sampling techniques. Investors hate to see more sampling because they're saying, this is not exciting. You're just going to sample to see things. But this was a new technique where we did some close-spaced drilling, every meter, a half meter. And we had a thing called an ARF, where we were able to analyze it on site. And we did quite a lot of drilling. And the very interesting thing that came out of that was we discovered a new zone in Mine River, close to a place called Tombreen, where very good results have been found before. But this we hadn't discovered before. It's about 750 meters from Tombreen. And there were some very good targets coming up from the sampling. And we then trenched it. And as you say, we found gold in one trench. Now, that's unusual, not unique. You could be very lucky and you just trench either on the vein or across the vein, and it's one of the high-grade veins, so you'll find visible gold. But it does mean it's good. Visible gold means it's more than 30 grams a ton, which is very good. So we have designed a program that's to test this new zone, and we're doing three holes on that. That's where we're drilling now. And we'd be hopeful, and we're going to drill where in the trench, or very close to the trench where we had the visible gold. It'd be silly not to. We'll drill 2 more, and then the subsequent 9 holes are going to be along the general direction where we think the veins went, towards Tombreen. And Tombreen, we had grades of 16.5 grams a ton over 4.5 meters. Now, that's a particularly good 4.5 meter width. That's a very, very nice gold. That's a very commercial gold grade. So we're going to try and see if we can stretch this new zone, which is good results, towards the Tombreen, where we've always had good results. And if we can get that far, then about another couple of kilometers, there's a place called Knocknallure, where we also had good grades. So it's a very exciting area that stretches quite a bit in a very beautiful part of the country, just outside of the village of Carnew on the Wicklow-Wexford border. So what we're doing now, right this week, is drilling the first of 3 holes. We will that'll be drilled in about 5 days. We will take the results from that, and hopefully if they look good, and the driller and the geologist on site will know, we will then split the core, send the core off for analysis, and we will have results in about 10 days after that. So if things went well for us, about 3 weeks from today, you'd have the first result, which I don't know whether it's announceable, but it's of interest to us to see, to the company to see what we're doing. Hopefully, we will then be able to work every couple of weeks after that to update the market on what's happening on the drill program. Now, that's presupposing everything goes well.
Yes, okay. And that's something that you mentioned in the RNS as well, about results being ongoing. So that's quite a nice thing. So once it's kind of started, and the drilling has already started, there could almost be a sort of steady flow of sort of news results and drill results and assay results coming through.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a program that's going to take 10 or 12 weeks. And somebody would say, why not put 2 or 3 rigs on at the one time, which big companies might do. But one of the difficulties with that is you don't want to be obvious in the area. I mean, this is a small drilling rig that's there in a field. In fact, people won't notice it, except maybe people who are listening to you now today. They might go and look for it. It'll be like a water drilling rig. And so we're unobtrusive. And also it enables you, given the results you're getting, you can adapt the program. Whereas if you go in and hit the whole lot with 3 or 4 rigs and do the whole program in 3 or 4 weeks, then you have to, when you get all the results, you sit back and take a go. We can adapt. So yes, we will be able to adapt as we keep going.
Okay, good. Now, forgive perhaps the obvious question, but when you talk about trenching and you've seen visible gold, is trenching quite simply digging a trench almost with a shovel?
Yes, it is. Well, it's usually with a backhoe.
The backhoe, yeah, okay.
Yeah. What you do, yes, it's a remarkably simple technique, and you then fill it in again. So, in good growth, whether the thing is gone in a couple of weeks, you have the geology and the sampling has said, look, we're getting good results here. And if you take your samples every meter, and I can't show you thing is, we would have a situation where we've got good gold results in a line. And this is how you would either drill the trench along the line or across it. And you simply go in, you go down to the bedrock. In other words, through the clay in the soil, down to where the rock is. And you take samples off the rock then as you trench along. The trench could be maybe 100 meters long. Then it's not a huge thing.
Okay.
And we did quite a bit of trenching in that area. Good professional geological soil sampling, analysis, trenching, analysis, drilling, and more analysis, unfortunately, because it's a long-term program that we do here.
But to get visible gold, though, at that stage, that must be pretty encouraging.
It was extremely encouraging. Yeah. And of course, the place to drill is where the gold is, not where it isn't.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but we've gone back. It's a new area, and that's what was exciting, because this is an old area, an old gold area. And people are saying, well, why would you do that? And let me put it in the famous Yanacocha gold mine in Chile. It was the ninth exploration program that actually found a massive 50 million ounce. Now, we're not looking at 50 million ounces, but there's always new discoveries, because it's veins, and the veins swell and pinch and they meander, and you don't know where they're going. You really don't. And which is why in some cases, core drilling, diamond drilling, as we're doing at the moment, is a high risk strategy, because you're taking something that's only a couple of inches wide, you're putting it down, trying to find something 100 meters into the ground that's only a quarter of a meter wide. So one, you have to be very lucky as much as very good. And then if you find this, then you do what's called an angle hole, where you go at maybe 45 degrees and drill across, so that if you miss the vertical hole, you'll get it on the angled hole. And that would be the next stage. It's very exciting because of the grades.
Okay.
And you're not looking for a massive, big open cast mine. This would be a very small, high grade, well-contained area.
Okay. Well, yes, hopefully people can look forward to seeing the results as they start to come through. And I understand as well, do you plan to do some drilling at your Donegal project?
Yes, one of the benefits of the lockdown is that we had time, and we were able to work in both places on the ground, like sampling and maybe even trenching. Drilling requires government approval and puts teams on the ground. So that just took time. Well, nobody was objecting to it. It just took time to do it. And we did the same thing after we finished in Mine River about 18 months ago. We went up to Donegal, where we were the first ones to explore for gold in this area, found very good results. we tried to follow the veins 2016, 2017, and we lost them. We couldn't find them. In other words, we got a rush of blood to the head. We went out about 8 kilometers to say, let's see if the vein goes this far, and it didn't. We came back in, and we maybe to 3 or 4 kilometers, we still didn't find it. What had happened is the vein had turned direction, or there'd been another geological event and the ground had moved, and it had gone, maybe moved a few hundred meters or gone further, so we couldn't find it. So we did this very intensive sampling again. And lo and behold, it came up with some very interesting results again as to here's where there were the high gold sampling results. Now you're talking about parts per million and indicator minerals. You're not talking about gold at this stage. You're just saying these are the things that will tell you where the gold is likely to be. And we put trenches down, and lo and behold, the really positive out of this was we found the original gold vein.
Okay.
Which was the big plus. And it had gone on. Now we weren't that far away. We went maybe up to 100 meters out, and we found it. And again, it had good gold grades in it. So what we now need to do is we will, after this program is finished in Mine River, we will hopefully get permission, because you have to get government permission to do these things, that we will have a program of a follow-up diamond drilling program in Donegal. And that would take place over the summer. And the number of holes will depend again on there'll be a reasonable number of holes, because we know where we want to go on that. And we're funded, luckily enough, we raised good money about 18 months ago, and you haven't been able to spend it. So we're fully funded in Mine River, and we'll be fully funded in Donegal as well for this thing. So it's an interesting time. Gold at $1,700 plus is good. And these are more advanced programs. We've come a long way now. Mine River, we've been in and around it for more than 2 decades. Donegal is new in that we only firstly discovered it in 2015 and 16. So good time for us to be working on gold in Ireland. Okay.
Well, John Teeling there, the chairman of Arkle Resources, thank you very much for that update.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.